Aloha Gang, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna go over your #1 tool to get super interesting soundscapes that will pack your songs full of rich and robust envelopes. I am talking about automation, Ableton Automation. Now, I'm not for robots taking over our taste as humans, but I am willing to let it slide if that means coming up with some gut-punching, ear-smacking bangers. All right, let's get it. If you guys are interested in growing your mixing and production skills, please consider subscribing because that is exactly what we do here. I'm dropping 2 to 3 videos per week full of tips and tricks to get you creating to your fullest potential. But enough about that. Let's talk about automation. Automation lets you control envelopes, volumes, effects, tempo, pretty much anything in Ableton can be automated. And I mean anything. Check this out.
So what I'm going to do is press play in Ableton. It's going to play, and what's going to happen is a MIDI note is going to trigger an app called Keyboard Maestro, which is going to trigger a iSwitches device using the HomeKit app. Watch what happens.
Make sure you guys stick around to the end because there are some insane ways that you can automate your Ableton live sessions for live performances. You guys don't want to miss this. Today, I really want to focus on the basics of automation, something that you can take away and start using immediately to make your productions way more interesting. There are a few ways to get automation in your tracks. Let's stop messing around and just jump in the box and I'll show you exactly how to do it. First one is to live record. This is great for DJs or anybody who likes to actually just play their performance. And the second way is to smash that like button. Seriously, you guys, it helps out the channel so much. It gets me in front of the algorithm gods and gets this information to people who might need it. But the second actual way is to draw in your automation directly onto your track. This is my preferred method because you have way more control, but let's go over both and you can see which one is best for you. So if you guys are new to Ableton, you're looking at what is called Session View, and it is basically comprised up of all these clips that play in a vertical way. And it's good for coming up with arrangement and song ideas, and basically it'll loop the clips endlessly and you can sort of mess with each clip as it's playing. If you hit tab, it takes you to arrangement view, and this is a basic layout, sort of the way every DAW is set up in a timeline fashion. But we're gonna go over how to live play your automation onto your tracks. So for example, let me just play the beat really quick so you can see what we're working with. Okay, really cool. I want to automate this guitar track. I'm soloing it right now. Let's take a listen. It's sort of an ambient guitar. Okay, I want to make that more interesting. What can we do? I want to pan it. Let's pan it so the listener gets it on either side. So we're gonna hit the activate automation up here at the top. Then we're going to come down and we're going to record arm our track that we want to mess with. And then right here, this is record session clip. So this is the one. This is different than this one. This is the sort of master record mode. This is record session clip. So let's go ahead and hit that. And then with my mouse, I'm going to pan either side. And then as it loops, I'm gonna go up and down with the volume to create sort of a swell. So let's go ahead and do that right now. It's gonna loop right now. Now I'm gonna swell it up and down. And then at the very end, I'm gonna swell up the reverb. Now it just looped. As you guys can see, all of that is automated. You can tell by this little LED that pops up, this little red LED. And that means that it's automated. You see it moving by itself, doing exactly what we wanted. So, okay, now the second way we can live record our automation is to record it from our session into our arrangement mode. So in order to do that, all we have to do is hit this record button, and it's going to play these clips. And then while the clips are playing, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to just sort of pan this left and right, and I'm going to turn up the reverb just to give it some ambience, and then maybe I'll swell the volume as well. All right, here we go. Now let's hit tab. And then hit this little orange square to activate our arrangement mode. And then if you guys take a look over here on the right-hand side, you can see again this little LED right here on the top left of the box. That means that we are automated. You can see it swelling. You can see the panning going left and right. Perfect. Are you guys following me so far? If you are, go ahead and comment aloha down below so I know you're picking up what I'm laying down. Okay, moving on. Like I mentioned before, the second way we can get automation onto our tracks is to actually draw the automation in. And this is my favorite way because you can come up with some really cool stuff using this pencil feature in Ableton. Okay, so the way we can view our automation is by coming up to this little button right here. Clicking on that, that's going to show all our automation. Another way, a shortcut, is to just hit your A button. That'll turn your automation on and off. Okay, now I'm going to show you something that I do on all my songs, and just to demonstrate exactly how easy this is. Come down to your audio effects, grab this auto filter, drop it onto your master fader. Okay, now in order to activate what we want to automate, you just go ahead and click on the parameter. And as you can see over here on this menu, this sort of gives you this shows you exactly what parameter we're going to be automating. So you can see by the drop down, we're going to automate on the auto filter, and we're going to be automating the frequency parameter. Now, if I want to automate two of them at the same time, I hit that plus. And now that is put on its own track, and I can come down and I can say, okay, I want to automate the auto filter, and then I also want to automate device on and off. But let's go ahead and just focus on this one. So let's select frequency. I'm going to put a breakpoint. So just go ahead and use your mouse and just click on that, and just click anywhere on that line. And that'll make a breakpoint. And let's listen to the intro now. Okay, it kind of sounds like an intro. But now I want it to slowly swell up. So how can we do that? By drawing in. So let's put another breakpoint in there. And then let's get rid of that. And then it's going to slowly bring that up. Okay, that's pretty cool, but let's get even more interesting. So let's hit the Alt tab and bring it down, and that's going to allow us to bend this parameter. So then it has a nice little swoop right at the end. Right? Okay, so you can see right there how easy that is to just come up with an intro just using your simple 4-bar loop. Now, some other really cool features that we have at our disposal when using the drawing tab is we can just, let's say we want to come up with some really cool panning. Just go ahead and draw this in. Like if you wouldn't be able to play this because it's so precise on the grid. But this is going to have like a really cool, trippy sort of panning effect. Just shooting off to each side. Right, so we got that. Now, if we want to do it more freehand style, let's go ahead and turn off the grid. So let's hit Command 4, turn off the grid, and we're just going to draw this in freehand like that. which is something I would probably rather have sort of more fluid. Just sort of swelling back and forth, that's super cool. Okay, and then if we select any of this, you see these 4 little dots right here. This allows us to move our automation however we want, up and down, diagonal, right? Really cool. So we have so much at our disposal. And I'm not going to get too in depth, but I just want to give you guys the basics so you guys can start using this right away and just start making really cool, interesting additions to your productions. And a lot of this can just be really subtle, but if you're listening on headphones, your listeners are going to, it's going to make it way more interesting to somebody than just having the straight, you know, panned left and right. Okay, so let's say we came up with something really cool, but we want to try something else just to have a variation, or we come up with an idea. So with the panning, all you do is we're going to play our track. And let's say we just want to hear it on the left. Once you see this little orange button turn on, then you know that the automation is going to stay, but this will allow you to mess with the automation so you can test out different variations. But in order to go back to what we had already drawn in, we just hit this orange button again, and then our automation is turned back on. Really cool stuff. But what if we want to get rid of everything? We have this all drawn in, but we're not really feeling it, and we want to start over. All we got to do is, there's 2 ways we can do this. You can control right click and hit clear envelope, or we can come on over and right click on the name of our track and hit clear all envelopes. Again, pick what you guys like to do. If you like playing your automation, then go ahead and play it. If you like drawing your automation, or you can use a variation of both and come up with something really unique. Now notice all these breakpoints right here. I just played this auto filter during the intro. Let's say I want to come up with a more simplified version of that. I'm going to go ahead and select it. I'm going to right click and then hit simplify envelope, and that's just going to give you the basic sort of drawing of what you just came up with. Then we can come in and take these breakpoints and we can put them wherever we want, and the sky is the limit here. You literally only stopped by your imagination. So this is how deep Ableton gets. Now, just as I promised, I want to show you guys some really cool things that you can add to your live performances. Ableton not only automates the effects, volumes, envelopes, filters, all that, but you can also automate your lights, fog machine. You can have your lyrics going on in the back. You can automate a projector. I'm talking your whole live set can all be automated in Ableton. Think about that. You don't have to, that's like 5 less people that you have to depend on to make a really high-end, awesome show. So I'm going to show you some clips right now of some people that have integrated this all into their Ableton set. Let's check it out.
All right, so you could see right now that it's actually having a different effect. I can actually move this piece right over here, and you can see I'm actually going through all the different modes.
And let's hit play, and you'll notice that now my video file is playing in video sync. If I double click on this video file, it'll make it full screen. And you can also drag this to maybe an external monitor to make it full screen. So Ableton.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Like I said, it's just all up to you how far you want to take it. If you guys are new to Ableton and you're still sort of getting your bearings, I want you guys to check out this video on how to mix vocals using only stock plugins. It's going to take your mixing skills to the next level. All right, you guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Aloha.